Have you ever walked through a forest after a storm? The ground is littered with broken branches, scattered leaves, and fallen trunks. The wind roared, lightning flashed, and rain beat down with fury. Some trees bent until they nearly touched the earth. Some were struck, some wounded, and a few were torn apart completely. But if you return to that same place a few weeks later, something beautiful happens. Life begins to stir again. From what looked like destruction, new shoots start to grow. Tiny green sprouts push through the bark, reaching toward the sunlight as if declaring, "We're not finished yet." That's what trees do. They rise again. They sprout again and again, no matter how many times they been broken, because that is what they were created to do. Now, my question is this. If a tree can rise again after being torn down, what about you, a human being made in the image of God? If something without a soul, without dreams, without a heartbeat, can keep fighting to live again, we sold you, created with purpose, wisdom, and divine breath. Choose to remain down. You see, a tree doesn't cry over the branches it lost. It doesn't spend its days mourning the storm. It simply starts again. It doesn't ask for pity. It begins to heal. It doesn't wait for perfect weather. It uses whatever sunlight it can find to grow. And that's exactly how you must live. When the storms of life break you, when pain bends you, when people cut you down, remember, God planted in you the same resilient spirit He placed in the trees. The Bible says in Job 14:7-9, at least there is hope for a tree. If it is cut down, it will sprout again, and its new shoots will not fail. Its roots may grow old in the ground and its stump die in the soil, yet at the scent of water it will bud and put forth shoots like a plant. If there is hope for a tree, then there is hope for you. You may have been cut down by disappointment, you may have been bruised by rejection. You may have lost people, lost money, lost confidence, but your roots are still alive. And as long as your roots, your faith, your purpose, your connection to God remain, you will rise again. The tree doesn't stand tall because it never faced storms. It stands tall because it survived them. And you will too. Trees have a powerful mentality. They don't fight the wind. They bend with it. They understand that resisting the storm only leads to breaking. So they stay flexible, moving with the wind until peace returns. You must learn that same wisdom. There are moments when you can't control what's happening around you. You can't stop every storm. But you can choose to bend, to adapt, to endure without breaking. Because the wind that tries to destroy you might just be shaping you into something stronger. And when the storm is over, the tree doesn't compete with others. It grows at its own pace. Some grow taller, some wider, some greener, but all grow upward. So don't compare your recovery to someone else's. Your timing, your healing, your progress, it's yours. The tree doesn't give up because another one is taller. It keeps reaching for the sky anyway. That's faith. That's purpose. That's destiny. And let me tell you something about trees. The deeper the roots, the stronger the growth. No one sees the struggle underground, where the roots stretch and wrestle through the dirt for water and life. But those unseen roots are what make the tree stand when storms come. Likewise, your private struggles, your tears no one saw, your silent prayers in the dark, those are your roots. That's where your real strength is built, so don't despise your hidden seasons. God is deepening your roots so you can rise higher later. Even when the tree loses all its leaves in winter, it doesn't panic. It doesn't think the world has ended. It trusts that spring will come again. And you, too, must trust that no winter lasts forever. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven." That means your dry season is not your final one. The same God who allows winter will bring you spring. The same God who watched you fall will watch you bloom again. Don't let temporary pain convince you that you've reached a permanent End. Dot. You are still alive because your story isn't over. The trees remind us that growth often begins in brokenness. A cracked seed must die to become a tree. A branch must be pruned for fruit to grow. And sometimes the ground must be disturbed before new life can emerge. So don't curse the process. What looks like breaking might be your becoming. You are stronger than you think. You are rooted deeper than you know. And the God who gave trees the instinct to rise again has given you the spirit to stand again. Even Jesus used trees as symbols of faith and renewal. In John 15:5, he said, I am the vine. You are the branches. That means as long as you stay connected to him, life will flow again. You may be cut, but you are not disconnected. You may be wounded, but you are not worthless. You may be tired, but you are not finished. Maybe you've been down so long that standing feels impossible. Maybe the storms have convinced you that you'll never recover. But listen, the same creator who commands the trees to sprout again is calling you to rise. Your time to grow again has come. This is your season to sprout, to bloom, to live again. So pick yourself up. Forgive yourself. Start again. The soil of your past may still hold the seed of your future. Remember, the tree doesn't wait for applause to grow. It grows in silence. So even if no one notices your progress, keep going. Even if no one cheers, keep growing. Because heaven is watching. And one day, the same people who saw you broken will see you blooming and say, how did they survive that? You'll smile and say, because my roots went deep. So rise again, even if life cuts you down to the stump. Rise again. Even if you feel empty inside. Rise again. Even if you lost everything, rise again. Because your Creator, the one who planted you in this life, hasn't forgotten you. He's still watering your soul with grace, still shining his light of love upon you. Your story isn't over, and your best days haven't even started yet. If a tree without a mind, without a soul, can sprout again and again, how much more can you, a child of God, made in his image, rise again with faith and courage? Don't remain down. Stand up. Stretch your heart toward the heavens. Breathe again. Grow again. And let the world see that the same God who raises trees from the earth is raising you from your pain. My friend, no matter how many times the storm breaks you, don't let it bury you. Let it teach you. Let it shape you. Let it grow you. Because you are not a fallen tree, you are a living testimony. You were made to rise again and again until the world sees the glory of God shining through your scars.